In the same way that character development can be broken down into backstory, personality, goals, and values, plot development can be broken down into atoms. This is how I've broken it down. The focus of this video will be on the problem, solution, and result. I call that the plot cycle or problem-solving cycle. In a simple cycle, the protagonist faces a problem, they come up with a solution, and the result is that they solve the problem, moving on to the next part of the story or ending the story. These are advanced techniques that improve plotting. Result chaining is when results influence other parts of the cycle. Since it can happen in many forms, it is the overarching technique which all other techniques belong to. The first technique under result chaining is try-fail. Here, a character tries a solution to a problem, but it fails, so they try another solution. This repeats until the result is a pass. It's a technique that screenwriters have already created, but it fits perfectly into my system. This counts as result chaining because the failing result of the previous solution creates the next solution. An example is Jotaro and Koichi versus Sheer Heart Attack. Jotaro tries punching, but it fails, so he tries ripping it, but it fails. Koichi tries to find the user, but then that fails. Finally, Jotaro learns about its heat-seeking, and the two use that to solve the problem. That unfortunately fails as well, and then Echoes Act 3 is the permanent solution. Next is the incremental solution. This is a solution that is split into multiple steps. The result of each step influences the next step, so it's result chaining. Here is an example. In Tomozaki Season 2, the protagonist had the problem of motivating Erika for a sports tournament. The increments in his solution included gathering information from multiple different people about her, and then sending out 3 of his friends to deliver pieces of information to his target to subtly manipulate her. All of it combined in the successful result of Tomozaki motivating Erika. The next technique is problem creation. This is when the result of the problem in Cycle A creates a new problem, making Cycle B. Here's an example. In the Shibuya incident, sorcerers were dealing with Dagon, Cycle A, but then Toji showed up and killed him, solving the cycle. But as a result of the strongest opponent being taken care of, Toji turned his sights to the next strongest, Megami, creating Cycle B, Megami versus Toji. The next technique is parallel solution. This is when Cycle A and Cycle B exist independently at the same time, and the solution to one of the cycles creates results that are the solution to the other cycle. Here is an example from Rascal. Sakuta had 2 unrelated cycles. A was convincing Mai to return to acting. B was dealing with an announcer. By making a trade with the announcer, solving Cycle B, he got the background information he needed to logically convince Mai, solving Cycle A. Technically, anytime a character goes through an arc and it gives them the ability to win their challenge, it's a parallel solution. If you view the character arc as an internal problem cycle, then it counts. I try to avoid that because I focus on external problems when analyzing plot development. Last is a nested problem. This is a smaller problem that is the result of a bigger problem. The smaller problem's result will be the solution to the bigger problem. It's result chaining because one's result changed into another's solution. Here is an example. In JJK, Yuji's Cycle A was getting rid of a barrier, but in order to do that, he had to fight the curse defending it, Cycle B. Beating Kogai resulted in Yuji being able to undo the barrier. Like Inception, you could keep going deeper if you wanted. A problem in a problem in a problem. In conclusion, the advanced techniques under result chaining are try-fail, incremental solution, problem creation, parallel solution, and nested problem. All stories use this, not just anime. You'll likely find that the greatest plots and stories include this kind of superior engineering. A plot that is stacked with these techniques is likely to be a great plot, assuming everything makes sense. Subscribe for more academic analysis on anime.